Good day, everyone. You are welcome to another study session for Act 322 Management Accounting. We are in study session 5, and this study session is on relevant costs for decision making. Relevant costs for decision making. So at the end of this session, we shall understand what the relevant decision areas are, know and describe the relevant cost concepts, explain the qualitative factors in decision making, and apply the relevant costs in decision making with examples. Dr. Aditi GSB is my name. Introduction. When performing the manufacturing and selling functions, management is constantly faced with the problem of choosing between alternative courses of action. For instance, typical questions to be answered include what we are to make, how we are to make it or them, where to sell the products to, what price should be charged, who are going to buy from us, where is our market located, so on and so forth. So, in the short run, management is typically faced with the following non-recurring types of decisions: acceptance or rejection of a special order, pricing of products, make or buy decisions, sell or process further, add or drop a certain product line, as well as utilization of scarce resources. All of these are quantitative in nature, and that's why decision making is highly quantitative in nature. That's why you will discover that there is no session that will be without the quantitative aspect. So what are the decision costs? Remember, you need these costs to be able to take your decisions. So we look at what constitutes a relevant cost. Relevant costs are those costs that should be used for decision making, and a cost is said to be relevant if all of the following conditions are met. A cost is said to be relevant if all of the following conditions are met. 1. It must be futuristic in nature. In other words, we are saying past costs are irrelevant in decision making. They are unalterable past events. They are sunk costs. Past costs include not only costs that have already been paid for, but also costs that is subject of legally binding contracts. For instance, in a lawsuit, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. So that's from the aspect of the law. Even if payments due under the contract have not yet been made. Therefore, these costs are known as committed costs. So, committed costs are irrelevant costs. 2. A relevant cost must involve movement of cash. That is, costs or charges which do not reflect additional cash spending should be ignored. Costs that do not reflect additional cash spending should be ignored. And they include depreciation, notional rent or interest, all overheads absorbed, And 3. Relevant costs must be a differential cost. A differential cost is the difference in cost of alternative choices. For instance, if option A will cost an extra 10,000 and option B will cost an extra 12,500, the differential cost is 2,500 naira, with option B being more expensive. So we are going to look at other decision costs. Opportunity costs. Like we said, is that benefit forgone by choosing one opportunity instead of the next best alternative? sometimes distinction is made between external opportunity cost and internal opportunity cost. The external opportunity cost is simply the incremental cost of a decision. That is where you have to incur additional costs. While internal opportunity cost is the benefit a firm will obtain from its next best opportunities only if the particular course of action is rejected. It therefore arises whenever there are mutually exclusive options or alternatives or limiting factors for production, and it is the type of opportunity which is more widely known by the general term opportunity costs. The next type of decision cost is the relevant cost of materials. The relevant cost of materials is generally given by their current replacement cost, unless the materials are already owned and will not be replaced if used, in which case the relevant cost of using them is their current resale value or their value if applied to another product if this is greater than the current resale value. Another decision cost is the division of a segment. A segment consists of a product, type of customer, geographical region, distribution channel, or any other part of a firm that can be considered for expansion or reduction. Therefore, in order to arrive at whether a segment should be deleted or not, it is necessary to consider the net contribution. So we use the formula below or the format below. We look at the sales revenue, deduct the variable cost from it to get our gross contribution, then less attributable fixed costs, that is costs that can easily be traceable to that activity, and then we have our net contribution. So if the net contribution is positive, this segment should not be deleted or the segment should not be closed down. Now, qualitative factors in decision making. Qualitative factors in decision making are factors which might influence the eventual decisions but which have not been quantified in terms of relevant costs or benefits, and they may emanate from two sources. That is, we can experience these qualitative factors from two perspectives. One, from the non-financial objectives. That is, you talk about the goodwill, you talk about the employee capacity. These are non-financial objectives. And then the second is factors which might be quantifiable in money terms, but which have not been quantified, perhaps because there is insufficient information to make reliable estimates. So thank you for listening.